everybody, it's Muscle Car Campy again. We've got a pretty wild story for you tonight. You know, most muscle cars were built, they were designed to go in a straight line. You know, maybe some of them could carve some corners. This car was bought by the original owner to save your life. This 1970 446 barrel Roadrunner was purchased new by Wayne State University. It was needed to do research for highway traffic safety. Among the things they discovered was Armco was actually very dangerous. So like we said earlier, this car may have just saved your life. Before we get going, a full deep dive into this car, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified every time a new video goes live.
Hey everyone, I'm David Hakeem and I'm the owner of the Wayne State University 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. This car has quite a unique history to it. It was bought brand new by Wayne State University, which is located in downtown Detroit, to pull unmanned vehicles into your freeway signs, abutments, guardrails, and what have you, to make the nation's highways safer. The reason why the college backed out a Roadrunner is basically they needed a vehicle that could accelerate a unoccupied 3,600-pound car up to 70 miles an hour and about 1,000 feet. The professors went through all the catalogs and realized that like a Roadrunner with a 446 barrel engine, a 410 axle, and a 14-inch tire would do the job perfectly. This Wayne State Roadrunner has some unique features to it. One is a sign stuck onto the dash not to exceed 50 miles an hour. The reason why is when this car would pull the unmanned vehicles, it used a kind of an elaborate pulley and cable system. And as the Roadrunner would accelerate this way, it'd pull the unmanned vehicles the opposite way. And if you multiply the speed, it would double the speed the Roadrunner was going. So to make sure things didn't get out of hand, they limited the speed. Well, not mechanically, but basically there was a reminder in the dash to tell the students don't exceed 50 miles an hour during the test. So again, it's quite an interesting history because it did the test from 1970 to 1972 when, again, the college was commissioned by the Department of Highway Transportation to look at making freeways and highways safer. Then from 1972 on, it was basically a delivery vehicle for the College of Engineering at Wayne State University. Then went to auction in 1978, an enthusiast bought it, then I ended up buying it in 1996, and I've had a lot of fun with this car, racing it in the pure stock drags and just having fun on Woodward Avenue with it whenever I can.
As David said before, there is a sign on the glove box that says 50 mile per hour speed restriction, which is very cool. There's an unrestored hole in the instrument panel here. This was part of a fifth wheel system used on the car to measure speed. This car, 446 pack, 390 horsepower, 480 pound-feet of torque, no tachometer. Tachometer was extra. Plymouth did some goofy stuff back then, but remember, this was supposed to be a low-price car. It does seem kind of silly though to me. You offer that much horsepower and a high-performance engine, maybe you want to give the customer a tachometer. Among the changes for 1970 on the six-pack, better rods, better pistons, a little better rocker arm, but for the most part, the internals, the cam, everything was the same as it was in 1969. All right, everybody, as you can see, this is Muscle Car Campy in B-Body Heaven. 446 pack, 410 gears, original 25,900 miles. I mean, this car's had a hard life, even though it has low mileage. The current owner, Dave Hakeem, has done some crazy stuff in it. He's also taken it to the pure stock drags. David, what did this car run at the pure stock drags?
In its prime went 1258 at 110.
Wow, that's pure stock or pure stock?
Well, it was originally short block, but the cylinder heads were freshened up. But basically had the tune by Bob Kirkation. Don Little freshened up the cylinder heads. That was on the polyglass tires. And through the full exhaust manifolds. And again, that was on the original 70 short block with the big, dumb, heavy rods and the big pistons and all that.
I think a lot of people don't realize the cool thing about these muscle cars is they were about amazing potential. You know, you could get them, they were fast. These were easy mid 13-second cars, low 13-second cars. But with just a good tune, a little tweaking here and there, even on these tires, as you said, you went, what was that time? 12 something.
1258.
1258 with these little skinny tires. It's just fantastic.
This package was really a great package when it came out in mid-year '69. It was it had a lot of potential. I think much more than the engineers and the marketing people thought.
Well, I think it's funny that, you know, when it came out in '69, you had that one-piece lift-off hood. You didn't even get poverty caps. You got lug nuts. It was like, I'm surprised they even gave you those. You know, that car was really designed for one thing, which was to go extremely fast in a straight line. It was truly the street racer special, you know? So it's amazing how then they made it a little more democratic. You know, they gave you a regular hood in 1970. They made it so the everyman could own it. And that lift-off hood was quite problematic for one person if you wanted to check your oil.
Yeah, they were looking at offering a lift-off type hood for 70, but you know, the air grabber came out, and you know, when I interviewed Tom Hoover years ago, I asked him about the air grabber. He kind of smirked and said it was all marketing and gimmick. He said the best hood scoop for a B-body, you know, a late 60s B-body, was the lift-off hood found on the A12 cars. And then when pressed about the best E-body hood, he said the 70 Challenger TA hood was the best E-bodies, at least for a Challenger.
Yeah, this car, it rides firm. Definitely, you know, as a B-body guy, I can tell the difference with the manual steering versus my 65 has the power steering. This is definitely a firmer ride than my car has. You know, but this is, I'm dying here. I'm just in heaven. You know, and you have this car tuned beautifully. I noticed even with all the starting and stopping, you know, the kind of stuff we do when we're doing a video production, you shut it off. It fires right back up. There's no waiting, nothing. It's just boom, it's right on the money. So kudos to you, Mr. Hakeem.
Well, I must give kudos to Bob, Mr. Six-Pack Carrication. He laid his hands on the carburetors, the distributor, and got it set up so it runs really good. And a lot of people that have six-pack cars, they get all sideways with these carburetors. They do, you know, the old direct connection, you know, so-called tips of like the lead shot in the vacuum port and doing this and doing that. And you know, these carburetors can really trip up even the most ardent enthusiasts. But no, Bob Carrication, he's the only one who touches this car.
And I love the wing windows, you know, something a lot of cars by 1970 didn't have, but this is just I still like them. You know, you get them turned in towards you a little bit, and wow.
And getting back to the hood, I just love the air grabber scoop. I mean, it's just, yeah, go ahead and set it, you know, go ahead and play with it, Campy.
Oh, I can feel the power just disappearing.
I'll give it a gulp of fresh air, and here it comes back up.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, it's a 410 gear, and now for it to kick down in the low gear, you got to be rolling about almost 10 miles an hour.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. This is Muscle Car Campy checking out. Before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. Make sure you get notified every time a new video goes live. We've got all kinds of great muscle cars coming your way. You won't want to miss one.